Jimmy.
Hello, this is Tefario, a university lecturer teaching in Ethiopia for over 4 years. Today I'm here to comment on the war that is happening between Russia and that of Ukraine. If you are watching this video, please help me in subscribing to my video channel. Your subscription is very important because you will help me just keep being motivated so that I will appear more often in my video channel. Today I am commenting on the war that's going on between Russia and that of Ukraine. Now, you may have heard that various types of media reporting that Russia invaded Ukraine, but this is not true. Who invaded who, it's not clear so far, but it is the Western world propaganda that the Russians have invaded Ukraine, and we know this is not true. And I will come back on this one, commenting even more on this one. Now, today I'm commenting on the consequences of the war. Now, some of the problems that we will see because of this war is that migration crisis and the threat of nuclear war, and also other impacts such as the impact of the war on the life of the civilians. Now, to begin with my comment, now it's my personal belief that the Western world has just initiated Russia to invade Ukraine, and we know that it is not Russia who is responsible on this war, and instead it is the United States of America and that of the European Union. And because they have tempted Russia so much, Russia had to respond, and I am very happy Russia responded in this way, because we know so far that the Americans and the European Union have been playing the game of peace in the world, but in reality it is the United States of America and it is the Europeans who have been the causes of many wars in the world. The war against the Arab countries, including that of the Syrian crisis, for example, it is not the Israel, or it is not peaceful countries who are behind the crisis in Syria. It is the United States of America and also the Western world. Now, if you ask me what are the consequences of the war, there are actually many consequences, one of which is migration crisis. Now, from this migration crisis, who is going to be suffering the most is the Europeans and also the United States of America. Now, up until this moment, more than 300,000 people have migrated from Ukraine into the Western world, especially into the European Union and to the United States of America. And just can you imagine how much the European Union and the United States of America have to pay for all those migration crises that's happening at this time? And because of the wars that we have been seeing in Africa and also in the other parts of the world, so millions and millions of people have migrated into United States of America and to Europe, the European countries. And I suspect that the Europeans will not be happy because of the migration of people from Ukraine into the European countries. And it's not Russia to suffer from this one, and instead it is the United States of America and that of the European countries. The other problem that the Europeans are going to suffer is the economic sanction and the embargoes. Now, the European countries and the United States of America have been saying a lot out loud in the media that they are going to put a lot of economic sanctions and embargoes on Russia. But we know that the embargoes are going to affect both sides, both the Russia and that of the Western world in general. Now, it is true that Russia will suffer to some extent, but to the most extent, I believe that the European Union and the United States of America will also have to suffer a lot from the economic sanctions and the embargoes. Now, to mention some, for example, we know that Germany has been importing natural gas from Russia, but at this time the pipeline is already in the process of being cut, and because of this, the Russians will actually lose some amount of money, but we also know that Germany will lose a huge amount of benefits and uses, because Germany had to rely a lot on the natural gas supply from Russia. The other problem the Europeans and the Americans are going to suffer from this measure that they have taken against Russia is that the economic crisis. How this economic crisis is going to affect the Europeans and the Americans, just what I have already said in terms of economic sanctions and also embargo. And the other one is, of course, Germany is also considering shifting budget from the civil project into the military. And if the money is not shifted or moved from the civil budget into the military, then the civil project would have gone even more smoothly. Now, these are some of the problems that the Europeans and the Americans are going to suffer from. But the big picture right here is the threat of nuclear war. If the nuclear war happens, what's going to happen is the worst nightmare in the world history, I can say. Because if the nuclear war happens, what will happen is millions and millions of people will die immediately, and even the civilization of the Western world and that of the civilization of the United States of America may even come to an end. And because of the nuclear war and also because of the military capability and technology of the Russians, the Americans are worried. The European Union is worried. NATO, they know that they cannot compete against that of Russia, and I am very happy that Russia has played the role of balancing the military power and also economic power in the world. And because of this, I am very happy that Russia had to respond in this way. Actually, Russia responded in this way because of the Europeans and the Americans have lied to the agreement that they had with Russia several decades ago. If you remember, from the end of the World War II, NATO had an agreement with Russia, and in that agreement, NATO had agreed that they will not even move 1 inch into the Eastern world or the Eastern Europe. Now, what the European Union and the United States of America are trying to do is just to move their power into Ukraine, and we know that Ukraine is right under the nose of Russia. And imagine if NATO, with its military capability and its aggression, moving right next into Russia and threaten Russia on everyday basis, and no superpower in the world will play the game of such kind in the world, and Russia is very wise to act in this way. And I would like to comment that every people, especially Africans in the Arab world, should stand by the side of Russia, and I'm standing by the side of Russia, and Russia has really done a very nice job in defending its sovereignty and also in keeping the balance of the world. If you're watching this video, please help me in subscribing the video channel. Please, your subscription is very important for me because it motivates me to produce and upload more videos, and I'll be back with even more important and latest news and information happening in the world. Thank you very much. See you next time.